Just wanted to take a few minutes and show everybody some of the more awesome stuff I've found at the place I work. I work at a junkyard, or recycling yard, that buys all kinds of metal and stuff like that. Not plastic and glass, but yeah. A lot of people get rid of a lot of good stuff that would blow your mind that I see come through there, and that's a problem I have, is that I can't save them all. Well, right here, it's a microphone tester for amateur and CB radio. Shows you all the different kinds that you can test. You plug them in, turn it on. You can adjust the volume. It's got a speaker on the back so you can hear it. See if the microphone sounds right or not. Works. 60 amp bench power supply that came in the junk. All I did was plugged it in. You can see where it got a little beat up, which is to be expected. Got this meter out of the junk. This frequency counter I've owned for a lot of years. This Palomar 300 that'll, depending on how hard you drive it, swing to 325, 350. This is one of 4 UHF, VHF police band scanners. It does all kinds of crazy stuff. I haven't even messed with it, but I know it works. I have plugged it in, turned it on, tested it. The speaker, external speaker, same thing. Got a little Texas Star 1-pill modulator that works. Again, has been tested using this meter that came in the junk. Even the backlight works on this. It's got to have 12 volts to it, but it does work. There's the frequency counter was on. But yeah. Got 2 of these. This one's the one that's in better shape. I just love old tube run radio equipment, stuff like that. I mean, can't see down through it, but there's 3 or 4, maybe 5 vacuum tubes in there. Know nothing about it other than it's old and it looks awesome. I think it's a single channel just by Googling it. It was made in 1961-ish. But yeah, got a match pair of them. This little Palomar 250 that, again, depending on how hard you drive it, oh, there's my little screwdriver, will put out closer to 275 or 300 watts. This Galaxy CB does not belong to me. It belongs to a customer that comes into the junkyard that he said he was having some troubles out of it. It had a broken leg on a MOSFET inside of it that I got fixed, and the microphone was bad. In with this power supply that I got out of the junk and all of these scanners, I found a whole bunch of brand new CB microphones. One of which being a brand new Galaxy brand microphone. And I told him that his mic was bad and I'd find him another one. Well, I didn't think I'd find him a brand new replacement for his CB in the scrap, but there it is. There's a brand new antenna matcher that came in a junk. Solder for days. People scrap so much solder thinking that it's super valuable because it's expensive at the store. It's not to a scrapyard. It's not valuable at a scrapyard. These Amphenol coax ends, I have a bucket of them that I've acquired. Adapters, 90-degree barrel connector for coax and stuff like that. All over the place. Every one of those CB radios right there, I got out of the scrap. Every one of them. Most of them work. I know this one works. Somebody's been into it. It's been peaked and tuned. It's had resistors clipped in it and all that stuff. You know, the magic golden screwdriver mods and whatever, but it sounds really, really good even at full modulation. Got a cheapo generic D104. It's not an actual D104. Don't know if it works or not. Just picked it up. Haven't even tried it out yet. Judging by how rusty the screws are on it, it's going to need some love or it's for parts. This little 3 amp Radio Shack supply. Same thing. Got it out of the junk. All these microphones and different 1/4 inch phono connectors and every one of these switches and circuit breakers and different connectors and everything like that. And just to zoom here back to 1 instead of half. Every one of these came out of the junk. Here's an adapter for an oscilloscope that's BNC to, you know, banana plugs that are also the twist down ones that you can see the hole through it right there. Came in the junk. That steel chainsaw Came in the junk. It runs. It works. I think it's got a bad crankshaft seal. It idles a little funny, and I can't quite get it tuned right. That's another one that I'm just using for parts. There is a McCulloch ProMac 1010 automatic right there that came out of the junk that kind of runs. It needs carburetor kit. That was actually bought new in my hometown, and I actually used to know the guy that ran that store when they sold McCulloch saws. He's passed away now, unfortunately, but whenever I was younger, I used to go in there and work on lawnmowers and chainsaws and stuff with him after I got out of school, and dear friend of mine, loved him to death, but, you know, everybody gets old. There is a bucket of different wires, coax, connectors, ends, all that kind of stuff. That drill press came in the junk. I didn't buy it. A friend of mine did, and then he decided he didn't want to mess with it, and he said I could either have it or he was putting it back in the junk, so I told him bring it to the house. Plasma cutter works. The air line was blown right in here off the end. Fixed it, plugged it in, fired it up. It runs. This Turner built T-Berry labeled microphone, got it out of the junk. I've got a bunch of these Turners plus 2s and plus 3 power mics. This Turner mic right here is a Pierce Simpson labeled one. It actually goes to this Bearcat right here. I'm not sure if this works or not. I only plugged it in and the lights come on. That's all I done to it. That Dozy Test Center I actually bought from a customer for like $5. I don't remember, but it works good. That pair of matched Midland handhelds came in the junk. They do not work. The batteries got left in them, corroded super bad. One of them, oh yeah, there you go. The inside is 10 times worse, and they only have crystals for one of the 3 channels. The telescoping antennas that are on there are like 5 feet long, and I cannot believe that for being built in, the dates on the back of them, let's see here, 1972, that the pair of them are still in that good a shape and that the antennas aren't broken. That blows my mind. Yeah, I've got a bunch of Milwaukee tools that came in the junk. 90-degree drive, 120-volt drill. There is some super old UHF radio stuff, like really old school Motorola stuff that I bought just because it's old and it's cool. Here's the control panel for one of them. Oh, that's a General Electric. But yeah, that would be what would be mounted up under your dash with your mic connector. And this great big box right here would be in the trunk or somewhere else. Let me move this chair. We'll just go right around in my little shed / shop here. These 3 boxes didn't come in a scrap. They got bought at an auction with a bunch of other random crap. I bought it from the boss. That is actually a backup broadcast transmitter for 81 megahertz or 81 kilohertz or whatever for AM radio. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. It was just too cool to see get crushed. Whether I part it out, gut them and use them for storage lockers or what, sell parts out of them, I don't know. Too cool to see get crushed. Got my gas can. This is a 2-meter radio that I got from the same person that owns the Galaxy radio. He said he has no idea what it is. He said it just says FM on it. He figures it's a ham radio, and he just brought it to me. I am not ham radio licensed. I do have a GMRS license, which, I mean, isn't anything special, but I have it. This old Johnson Viking Messenger 50th Anniversary Edition came in the junk with all of the scanners and stuff. There is the other Citizens communicator, like the one up on the bench. I got all them locks out of the junk that are brand new. I do lock sports as a hobby as well. This Craftsman tabletop or benchtop bandsaw came in the junk. This is one of the coolest things I have that I absolutely love out of the junk. This is a working civil defense Geiger counter. It has a flake of depleted uranium on the side. We'll turn it on and get her fired up here. trying not to make this video too shaky and out of frame. I am not a cameraman by any stretch of the imagination. Alright, that's a beta shield. That one is for gamma. It closes it off to the tube that's inside of there. You can see it just rolls around. But right inside of there is a GM tube that are very fragile. The last time this thing was calibrated was in 1976. It's got it right there. But if you look, I put it up close to that check source on the side, and she starts climbing. So yes, it does work. And yes, that is a flake of depleted uranium that is slightly radioactive. It's perfectly safe so long as it's under that. I can even hold my finger over it. My finger's not going to start boiling and turn off, and I'm not going to glow in the dark. That would only hurt you if you ate it, or if you turned it into dust and inhaled it. Then you would be having a bad day. But yeah, this guy, I could not pass up. Even if it didn't work, I still wanted it because I find radiation and all that stuff horribly fascinating. This is what it looks like on the inside. I put them batteries in it, of course. Trying to get you a decent light. I've only got one light in here. It's a 2-tube fluorescent light. But yeah, that's what the board and everything looks like. You got to be careful poking around in there because Geiger-Müller tubes run at hundreds and hundreds of volts. That dude will bite you if you don't watch out where you stick your fingers. I dropped the silica gel in there just to absorb moisture. And it still has the original wiring diagram. Trying to get a good shot of it there. That shows everything on it. I could get it sent off and get it calibrated and all that stuff, but that would cost an arm and a leg. And it works, so I'm not going to mess with that. It's a CDV 700. I do not have the original shoulder strap that came with it, or the mono earphone that screws on right there. You can, however, buy 3D printed ones that are just a clicker off of eBay. I've been meaning to, but it ain't been high priority. Yeah. This is just some of the stuff that I've gotten out of the scrap that I really like. This set of mini screwdrivers, which, as a matter of fact, I will put that one that I had lost and found right here back in there. Full set. It even has a little bar in it for the nut drivers. And Allen's. Not a super high quality set, not an expensive set, but it was dirt cheap for me. There's another CB under here. I don't even know what it is. Oh, a little Radio Shack. Huh. Let me see if that guy works. There's another one. Well, it may not work now. Well, that's realistic. I really like realistic radios. Yeah, where did my other realistic go? Heck, I don't know. I've got another realistic base floating around here somewhere. So, yeah. This is just a small tour, if you will, of my organized chaos of a workshop at the house. If anybody found it interesting, awesome. If not, oh well, you can find another video. This is YouTube. There's lots of videos. Have a good one. Stay safe. All that good stuff. And see you later.